They say hunting is in your blood, but what if you're just winging it? Justin's the middle-aged rookie with a new passion for hunting and an even newer bird dog. Erik, he's the guy who actually knows what he's doing. Most of the time. If you're into hunting, bird dogs, or just watching a guy learn the hard way, you're in the right place. Welcome to Upland Underdog.
Erik, we are back for our third episode of the Upland Underdog podcast already.
3. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun. This is our third episode. So we've talked a handful of times together so far, the first 2 episodes that we've had here. The first one was kind of just about where we started, how skeet became a thing for us to do on a more regular basis, what our goals are and plans are for the future in terms of how many times we're going to hunt, where we're going to go, what kind of birds we're going to do. And then we talked about dogs. We said, I got a gun dog, a wire-haired pointing griffon, aka a griff, and you've had a German short-haired pointer.
Yep.
So we talked about all those things, and now we're at the point where we should talk about training of the dog. So that's what we'll be doing today. And just to get this out of the way, so these aren't sitting on the table the entire time, I can tell you right now that there is one book that has been recommended to me more than any when it comes to training a wire-haired pointing griffon specifically, and that is Tips and Tales by George DaCosta. So really? George DaCosta is the wire-haired pointing griffon whisperer. So he specifically deals in those dogs. I think he's out of Idaho. And yes, this book she's a thickin', over 200 pages of tips and tales on training your bird dog.
I might have to read that. That'd be a good read.
Yeah, and it definitely is. He's a wire-haired pointing griffon trainer, but he obviously tips and tricks for any dog that would be worth it. So this has been one of the valuable resources that I've had since I've had my dog in learning what to do and what not to do. And when I mentioned to you that I was getting a dog, you had a book that you wanted to share with me, which is...
Yeah, so this is Gun Dog, and who's it by? Richard Walters. Actually, so my cousin's out in Kansas City that I got a lot of my information from them at first. Was like, look into this, get a good read, and we'll get you a good start on getting her trained. They're not as big on the training to all of the commands. It's like, she's going to know how to do it naturally. This will just help you along the way. So
cool. Yeah, and I've thumbed through that one. I've read quite a bit of that one. So I can't speak to that one as much. But again, I don't know what I don't know. And having these resources are the only way that I feel like I'm going to do the best job that I can. Knowing that, I also, without talking about specifics, anyone out there that could make an educated guess on the price of a dog that you're getting for a specific thing like this, let's just say it's over $1,000. So let's just say that's a baseline. So if I'm investing in this dog and I've spent the investment on the shotgun and I've invested in all the rounds of skeet to practice for all of this, like I've said before, I don't want to be the person that messes this dog up or that doesn't do something right. I remember when I mentioned getting a gun dog, you were 100% on board. You were encouraging of it. The one thing you told me that you had a rule, and this is just, again, one of those things I've taken with me. I didn't read it in a book. When you had a rule when you had your gun dog, whenever you went out shooting, if someone was with you, didn't matter who they were, your rule was they're not allowed to shoot at anything under 6 feet.
Absolutely. Part of it is I wasn't allowed to come home without the dog. So that was 6 foot. Just be conscious of, you're not going to shoot near somebody because most adult males are in and around. I'm not 6 foot, but in and around there.
Yeah, sure.
It was just a good general rule because sometimes when the bird's flush, they will jump. So let's make sure
They being the dogs.
So let's make sure the bird is up past our heads before we would even consider shooting. Yep. It's just a safety rule.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that was in any book that I've read or any tip or trick that I've seen online, but that to me is an invaluable thing to think about. I've seen videos online that scare the crap out of me when I see these guys flushing chucker and flushing quail, and they're not getting high at all, and they are shooting 5 feet in front of these dogs in some situations. Yeah. Like, that is just, I'm glad you trust yourself, but that is insane. That's not something I plan on doing. And then in the back of my head, that rule that you have is always something that I'm thinking of when I'm watching these videos. Like, why aren't these idiots waiting until the birds are higher?
Well, my dog wasn't just a tool for hunting; she was also part of the family. So
right.
that was important to me that she made it home every single time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So the actual tips in the book, some of the ones that I have taken and applied so far that have worked, I can tell you right now is the introduction to water. So I have a pool at my house. We have, again, Eric and I are neighbors, and we actually live to the point where there's a gate between our yards so we can go into each other's yards because their dog loves to swim. Your dog, again, is
she's a golden doodle.
Golden
and
doodle.
She's
not a
skinny.
Burma doodle.
Not a Burma doodle. She looks like a Burma doodle. She's for anybody that's into golden doodles, she's an F1 Phantom, so she's black and with a few white or gray spots. So yeah, but she loves water. She loves it.
And when we got our dog didn't want anything to do with water. When we got her, she and the way our pool's set up, there's like a step that you can go down that's more of a tan ledge area. So it's a 8x8 surface you can walk on. Even if you're a puppy, your belly might not even get wet. Yeah. But she refused to do it. And so I didn't want to force her to do anything. That's my main thing is I'm not forcing this dog to do anything she doesn't want to do. I will work with her repetitively over time. If she doesn't want to do something today at all, I will be done and I will try it again tomorrow. She's not getting away from it because she has to learn the stuff.
We could use some brisket grease out in the middle and see if that'll get her
yeah, that definitely would work. But yeah, so the water introduction in George DaCosta's book, he specifically talked about how he acclimates his dogs to get ready for the water, which is he'll take them down to the water, and whether they're in there or not, he will take some water out of whatever, if it's a pond or a lake or a pool, he'll take some out and he'll just start splashing their chest with it. He'll rub it on their chest. So this is, you're getting them wet, you're getting them used to the temperature of whatever that water is, you're just kind of getting them ready for what could happen. And then from there, you can introduce them to the water a little bit easier because they know what that stuff is and what it feels like.
That makes sense.
So I took that trick and it worked great to actually get her in the water. She did not want to get in the water before, and then as soon as I did that, and I helped her put her front paws in the water, as soon as I did that, she was 100% fine. Now, can't keep her out of the pool.
No, she's in it a lot.
She's in the pool nonstop. If I let her out in the morning to do her business, she'll come back soaking wet. There's no...
I mean, can you blame her?
I can't.
It's been 100 degrees.
It's been hot. Yeah, so she now loves the pool. That's not an issue. The issue I'm having with her is she does not love to swim. I don't have a solution for that. Again, in the book, I want to say it's in the book, it says that you can carry her out into the water with you and then let her go to know that she'll be okay. She knows how to swim. And we've been doing that, but that has not gotten her to the point where she is willing or ready to go into the water deep enough to swim on her own and then come back.
But she's also 6 months. I mean, we forget because she's pretty decent size. You forget that she is still that young.
Yeah.
At least I had.
She's big.
Because you look at her and you're like, oh, she's 2 or 3. No, she's 6 months. So.
Yep. She's 50 pounds already. So her mom was 55 pounds and her dad was, I think, 60 pounds. So she's the biggest of her litter, of course. And I didn't want a big dog. I wanted a medium dog, and here we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been the thing with me. I want her to swim more comfortably. Now, maybe it's because the way the pool's set up where you can't do a natural slope, and maybe when she's in a pond, she'll love it. Because when I'm hunting, if I'm shooting over water, if I ever want to do duck hunting and she's with me, and she'll have to go retrieve in water, that's a necessary thing. For the NAVDA test that we talked about recently, which is the North American Versatile Hunting Dog Association, there's that natural ability test, and you have to swim for part of that. So I do need to get her swimming. I don't want to force her to, and I don't.
I think with having mine jumping in, I think she'll slowly, having an older dog, a younger dog has someone to follow, she might just, if she would focus, they don't focus. They're all over the place.
Yeah, your dog, that's what I was going to say. Your dog, Ellie, does a super Ellie every now and then over a tennis ball.
Yeah, somehow she thinks she's a dock dog, which she's not. She's almost 80-pound golden doodle, but yeah, she just found out that she loves to springboard into the pool at a tennis ball. So if you're in there with it, you're probably going to get jumped on.
Yep.
I mean, she's...
Playing volleyball yesterday in the pool, she definitely jumped on a child.
Yep.
So it happens. Tears were shed, but she's a dog. She didn't know better, and they had the ball.
Yeah,
if you got the ball, Ellie's coming.
Yeah, it's fair game.
Yeah. So that's some of the tips that I've gotten out of the book so far that have helped me already. After those tips, doing things on my own, I decided to first get the dog off to a trainer. People have their opinions about that. People are going to say, you dummy, you wasted your money. People are going to say, of course you went to a trainer. That's the only way to do it. People are on the fence both ways. Or not on the fence. People have strong opinions both ways. What is your opinion on a trainer? Because with Shelby, your German Shorthair,
I did not send her to a trainer selfishly because at that point we didn't have kids. My wife was working a ton, so that was just my time to spend training her. I had the time. I didn't have a family, and I was like, well, I'll just do this. It'll give me something to do in the evenings. So, but if I did it now, I would consider sending them to a trainer, just because I don't have the time to give. I'm going to say her because I would probably get a female if I got a dog. I don't have the time to give her the proper time that she needs to learn how to do this.
Yeah. And that's what I'm learning too, is I want and expect everything to be done now.
Yeah.
I want to show you how to get something out of the water, and I want you to go in the water and get it.
Yeah, thanks Amazon for making us super impatient people now. Like,
So I realize that that's a flaw with myself, and I realize that my dog is still a puppy. The trainer side of things, though, again, I don't want to mess it up. I made the investment in the dog and everything else. I want to give her the best chance that she has to do what she was born to do. So I did make the decision to take her to a trainer. Now, what trainer did I choose? Again, just like with the breeder, I had to do my homework. I had to figure out where's one that's close, where's one that has good reviews, where's one that has better reviews but maybe fewer reviews. There's all kinds of things to think about. What I ended up doing was asking other Erik yet again, and you, anything that you would have for advice for who to pick. Because with anything, you're going to be as good as the teacher that you have.
Yep.
If you go to the wrong person, you're going to get bad results. If you go to the right person, you're likely to get better results. Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, your chances are higher.
Exactly. And it's a numbers game. So when I talked to other Erik, he said, I got both of my dogs from Prince's Quality Gun Dogs in Kansas. Now, I say Kansas, but it is one of those things where we're in Missouri. Missouri has 8 border states. I know that from a song my kids were forced to learn a couple years ago. Missouri has 8 border states, and Kansas is one of them. So when I say that's in Kansas, I do mean it's 15 minutes across the Missouri border, but it is on the other side of the state. So it was a 5-hour drive to get there. The trainer, though, Prince's Quality Gun Dogs, is who Erik got his German Shorthairs from, and it's where you recommended for me too. Yeah. So again, 2 strong recommendations for someone. And when you look on his website and Google reviews and everything, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of positive reviews. He's been doing it for, I forget what he said. I think he said he's been doing it for close to 30 years or over 30 years.
It's something insane.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of dogs. He knows temperament of a lot of dogs. He knows what works and what doesn't just through trial and error that I haven't had the fortune of having the opportunity to do. So that's something that, again, was a no-brainer. Find the right person. That seemed like the right person. And the person with the experience. And he definitely has the experience.
Definitely. I mean, anything where you're looking online and you start talking into bird dog training or upland dog training, his name pops up often.
Yep. So I did reach out to him. He said, bring her to me at 4.5 months. And I did. Spoiler alert, that was in the past already. It's already happened. But I brought her to him when she was 4.5 months old. It sucked to get rid of my dog for 2 weeks after I'd just gotten her home a month or two before that. But he said that at 4.5 months, he's going to introduce her to things. He's like, you will not have a dog ready to hunt, nor should you, because you don't need to rush it. She's going to be around for years and years and years. If she's not ready to go this season, she's not ready to go this season. So I took her to Prince's Quality Gun Dogs. It was a 5-hour drive. There's a video on the website that shows that adventure there. And he's an interesting guy. He's a very, very smart guy, but as you know, he works all day getting dogs ready for stuff, and he knows exactly what to expect out of a dog, and if he sees something he likes, he'll tell you. If he sees something he doesn't, he'll tell you that too. What I wasn't prepared for was for her to get released, have a bird released in front of her within 3 minutes of getting there.
Yeah, it's. I guess that's his way of finding out if she has the instinct or not, and
that's what he said.
How hard is this training going to be?
Yep. And I will say that he has some preconceived notions. So when I talked to him on the phone originally, I said, hey, again, he's an old school person, so it's not like there was a tremendous amount of information on the website or a Facebook page or anything like that, which there shouldn't be. He doesn't have to have that. He does have those things, but none of them are like super up to date and gave me everything I needed to know. So when I called him, I said, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a puppy. And the puppy I want is a wire-haired pointing griffon. Do you have any breeder recommendations? And he said, what do you think about a drat? And I was like, I'm going to get a wire-haired pointing griffon. He goes, well, I know that those dogs, he mentioned that their bloodlines have been tainted with, they're no longer, some of them got tainted, so they're not all 100% wire-haired pointing griffon. He said that he thinks that some of the drive has been bred out of them over the last couple of years because they're getting bred more. So he gave me that advice, and he said, I just think, I know that they're good family dogs, but if you want a dog with high drive, I would go with a Drat or a German wire-haired, or he's like, all I do is German short-hairs. Yeah. And I was like, I understand all those things, but I think we're going to go with the wire-haired pointing Griffon. I appreciate your opinion, but I'm not going to do that. So he gave me the name of the breeder. That's exactly where we got it from. Yeah. So someone that he recommended. Again, it's all based on recommendations.
That's awesome that even though he's like, well, here's a good breeder.
Exactly.
At least, at the end of the day, if he's not going to change your mind, at least give you good information.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Out hunting, we spend our mornings in the woods, following dogs, flushing birds, walking through oak and hickory. Out there, woods tell a story. Midwest Stair Company brings that same respect for natural materials into every custom staircase they build. Missouri made with craftsmanship that honors the grain and the journey. Check out their work at MidwestStairCompany.com and bring a piece of the woods home with you. Yeah, it was very nice of him. So we ended up going to his breeder, and then I brought the dog there at 4.5 months. Like I said, get her out there. He strapped an e-collar on her just to make sure she didn't run off. He didn't use it in any way, shape, or form. But we don't live in the country. No. My dog doesn't get to run off leash ever. So I needed to make sure that he needed to make sure that she knew, at least if he ran away, he can get her back.
Yep.
It wasn't for any, he didn't even use the e-collar. So he did introduce her to the e-collar while she was there over training. But that first time he just put a collar on her so she didn't run away. And then he said, let's see what she's got. And I said, oh, we're doing this. So he takes a quail and he tosses it, and she hopped after it like she was having so much fun. It made me so happy to see as soon as she did it, because this is what she wants to do. So she was hopping after it and kind of curious about it. And then she went over and she picked it up in her mouth. And I was like, oh, she caught it. Like, she's doing what she's supposed to do. Yeah. And it was really cool. So when I saw her do that, I'm like, oh, she's doing awesome. This is great. And then he said, all right, well, let me do one more thing. I got my starter pistol here. And again, this man is a trainer. I trust him. People are going to be conflicted about a bunch of different things. You shouldn't introduce a dog to anything. And blah, blah. I get it. I understand. I am trusting his wisdom.
This is his profession. He's been doing it a long time.
Yes. So he had a starter pistol, and he did it the right way from everything that I have read, which is starter pistol, not shotgun, and do it from a distance while the dog is distracted. Mm-hmm. So she caught her first quail, had a great time with that. They threw another quail. This one made a noise when it was in her mouth, and so she dropped it and freaked out because that was new.
Yeah.
And then she did go back and get it. And then he told one of his helpers that he's got there, hey, go over by that tree and release one and make sure she chases it, and I'm going to see what happens when I pull the trigger. So she was probably, if I had to guess, 40, 50 yards away from there, and she was chasing this bird. He pulled the trigger, bang, didn't give a crap. She kept going after the bird. Exactly what he wanted.
Really?
Yeah, she did not care. Then he moved her a little bit closer, I'd say 25 yards away or so. Same thing, and this time, when he pulled the trigger, she did one of these mid-run. She went, and kept running. So she was slightly noticed it was there. He goes, oh, you see how she noticed that one? I was like, yeah. So he did that, and then he put her back away, and then he's like, all right, well, he's like, if I had to give her a grade right now, do you remember what I told you? I think he said he'd give her a C.
You did tell me it was a C.
Yeah, I think he'd give her a C. Yep. And I was like, well, I thought he would say A. I saw her jump after this bird. I saw her catch this bird. I saw her not really give too much of a crap whenever he fired this. He's like, yeah, I'd give her a C. And I was like, why? Because I want my dog to be an A student. Yeah. So he's like, well,
calling her average.
Exactly. So, well, I'm going to have to toughen her up. And again, bless his heart, and he does a good job. I think he's just used to German short-haired pointers.
Yep.
And so he wants to make sure that he sees the same drive out of the dogs he's used to out of this dog. Because maybe it's just not exactly there.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's there or not. So he did a good job of introducing her to, and I wouldn't say intro to gunfire. Technically it is, but he wasn't shooting over or anything crazy day one. So he did a good job of easing her into some things and telling me his honest opinion. He said, and I respect this about him too. He said, I've had times where people come here like you did with your dog, and if your dog is a D or lower, I'd tell you there's nothing I can do for you. He said, it's not going to be the results you want. I'm not going to make anybody happy working with a dog who I can tell doesn't have the right drive from day one.
That's extremely fair. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend my money to have a dog. Well, I would be disappointed, for one, that I have a dog now that a very good trainer is not even going to touch.
Right.
But I also appreciate the fact that I'm not just going to take your money. And
Exactly. And I've seen that on reviews too. There's people that said, hey, he worked with my dog for 2 weeks, and at the end of that 2 weeks, he gave me my money back because he said he couldn't get the dog to do what he thought the dog could do. And that means he's teaching basic commands. Here is and again, the way that he's like, she'll be here, broke. I'm like, I love that. I love that.
That's an interesting way to put it. But I don't know how else you say that, but
yeah. She'll be broken of the command here, meaning when you say here, she'll come. Is she? I mean, I'd say yes and no.
I wonder if we were out in a field.
I think that...
And away from all the distractions of the kids and whatever, the pool, and if you called her then,
I need to work with her more on it, but she definitely was better. So it took her a long time to know her name. So Hazel, she didn't give two craps. She would just run around. And
you also had 3 kids yelling at the same time.
That's 100%
That was the one thing I can remember when I was training Shelby. We were big. Well, we didn't have kids, but it was big on. I was giving the commands, and you wouldn't do it multiple times. It would be Shelby, one time, and then when she would look at me, then she would get a treat. So she was used to the one command, one response.
Yeah,
so
I think I got a little flighty in our earlier talks, but I started to go down that same vein too. Is that my wife, speaking of the here command, she'll say, Hazel, come. And I'm like, can't say that. And she's like, oh, stop. Mm-hmm. I was like, we teach her that the word here means do what we want, which is come over here. We don't say come over here. Yep. We don't say come. We say here. She's like, I get it. It's just hard for her to remember because we've had dogs for 15 years before this.
Yep.
Never.
It's different.
We say We don't say no. We say and that is annoying as a 41-year-old man to be just going It makes me feel weird. But again, no is close to whoa, so we're not telling her no.
It's funny as an observer to see you walk around and do that. It's pretty humorous.
Yeah, my 10-year-old, she thinks that the dog needs to be told 400 times when she's doing anything. It's like, come on, guys, can we please chill with the ahs? Can we? It's a learning curve.
It's a one-time command.
Exactly.
And then if it doesn't, if your dog doesn't respond, then it's a correction. Like, it should be quick.
Yep.
Like, we don't want to harp on it. They're dogs. Like, nobody wants to get nagged on for anything.
And I don't want to nag on my family, well, especially my wife, to say you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But it's important that it's all done the same way. Everything that I teach her has to be reinforced. And I go to the extreme sometimes if I'm really annoyed with what I'm hearing my children incessantly say. Because again, the same thing. Hazel, here. No. You say here one time. If she doesn't do it, then you go get her and say, I needed you to come here. This is what I wanted. So you go get her. So yeah, it's the incessancy depending on, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought now. We were talking about.
Well, you're training your kids as much as you're training.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like that's how they talk about when in dog training. You're getting trained as much as the dog is. Mm-hmm. You're only learning how to communicate with them in a way they understand. They're not learning to communicate with you.
And it's this is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it becomes a safety issue. Mm-hmm. If that dog is out by me and maybe you and maybe a friend of mine that's going on their first hunt, and we're out there with her in the field. If she is doing something that could get her hurt and she doesn't choose to listen to me, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a hurt dog. That's a unfortunately potentially dead dog. That's
sprayed by a skunk. God. That's a reality.
Yeah.
If you can't get her to come back when you call her, we're all going to have to deal with that smell for a while.
Exactly. So there's all kinds of things that it's imperative and important that we get the dog trained the right way. And so I've been preaching that at the house to ad nauseum to where my family is annoyed with me. But I was like, guys, you have to do it the right way or else she's not going to learn.
Yeah.
With the doorbell thing, they were really good with the doorbell thing. So we put little hockey puck sticks that you stick to the windows by the doors.
Yep.
I've got one by my front door because she wants to go out there to pee. Don't know why. And I got one by the back door. She wants to go out there to play.
Well, of course.
And that's where the pool is. And that's where she does her number twos. She doesn't like doing number twos in front of anybody.
She's shy.
Yeah. So she goes out there for that. But then, so when we trained her on that, it took forever. We'd ring the doorbell and then let her out. Ring the doorbell and let her out. And so one of my kids would always say, Hazel, ring the doorbell. Hazel, ring it. Hazel, ring it. I was like, she doesn't know what you want. Here's what you do. You go over there and you can point to the doorbell and say touch. And if she does it, yay, big reward, go crazy, open the door. If she doesn't, take her paw, smack it against there for her, tell her yay, go crazy, big reward, open the door. And so we figured that out, and now she does the doorbell thing nonstop.
Oh, for sure.
But that's one of the things she learned because it was taught the right way.
Well, yeah, and then she's excited. Like, she's doing something that made you guys happy. So, although it's annoying now, but
Yeah, exactly.
but it makes you happy, which she's trying to please you guys. So
Sure.
it's awesome.
Yep. So the trainer, I left her there for 2 full weeks. 2 full weeks of the trainer, came and picked her up, and she looked so different because she had grown quite a bit. She was 4.5 months old. So I picked her up at 5 months old. She'd probably gained 5 or more pounds. And she was wet when I got there. I had brought with me, and again, part of the learning curve, I drive a Yukon, and I don't have a crate in the back of it. So I let her ride in the front, I let her ride shotgun, or I let her ride in the wheel well of the front seat too. I do need to get a crate for safety reasons. Again, don't come for me in the comments. The Roughland, I think. But they're like $400.
Yeah.
And again, my wife is very understanding when it comes to spending money on stuff, but that's one where she's like, really? But we'll get there. So I didn't have a crate. So thankfully I brought towels to get her home because she was out and stinky and wet, and it was not a good combo. But when I picked her up, it was awesome. I got to watch her flush birds. I got to watch her find birds. I got to watch her point. I got to watch her come whenever he said here.
That's so awesome.
All of the above. There's only one thing I didn't get to see, Eric.
What was that?
Didn't get to see her get shot over because she did not like it. So, love the fact that I took her to a trainer. He recognized he did all his pistol workups like he talked about. He did the far distance, the shorter distance, and he said he worked with her again on those same distances multiple times, and then took her out to the field. I think he said after a week of that kind of training, took her out to a field, had a launcher throw a bird, and he said he shot the bird and it fell probably 8 feet in front of her. It was a perfect opportunity for her to get everything she'd been training for. And as soon as she heard the gunshot, she ran away the opposite direction. So he said, she's not gun shy. She just needs more time. And I respect that out of him. He said, but I'm not going to shoot over her anymore. I don't want to make her gun shy. I don't want to break her in any way, shape, or form. And so I respect that part of it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's better than just shooting over. Oh, she'll get it. Just keep firing
Yep.
over. No, that's
And
not going to help.
That was getting her back, not acclimated to getting shot over, made me even happier I went with the place that I did.
Yep.
Because it means that he was listening to my dog. He did the right thing by her. So that leaves it up to me to do a little bit of work. He told me to do a little bit of work. Bang some pots and pans when she's out playing. Just get her used to loud noises. What I've been doing sometimes is I clap. So I'll throw, like she has this duck toy that she's not allowed to chew on. It's her retrieval toy. So I'll throw the duck and she'll bring it back. I'll throw the duck. She's tail's wagging. She's so excited. Throw the duck and I'll clap, but louder than that. I'll do a big clap, and 7 times out of 10, she'll stop dead in her tracks and run right back to me. She doesn't want to play anymore. So it is something that I need to work on her with, but those other 3 times, she's letting it go. What I've found is if I am just playing with her, if she's by me and I just go, yay, good girl, and I clap like that and I get increasingly louder, she doesn't care. And then when she's a couple feet away from me, I'll just start low and I'll get louder and louder. She doesn't care. And then when I do the loud ones, she doesn't care. So it's a way of getting her used to the loud sounds. I have to figure out.
That's interesting. I mean, it's going to have to be trial and error so you can get her used to it.
Yeah,
if we took her to the range now, that would be terrible for her.
right.
Like, really bad.
One of the things that was asked and told, I said, I was like, there's a shooting range 15 minutes from me. What would you think of me just driving her out there, leaving her in the car with me? I wouldn't even shoot that day. I would just drive there and leaving the windows up and parking, 150 feet from the skeet range where there's just shotguns going on and they're kind of background noise. Kill the music, whatever, just sit in the car, see what kind of pops they make. And if she does fine with that, maybe I'll drive closer and see what happens there. And then eventually, let's roll the windows down. See how it goes there. See what her reaction is. Because the idea is she hears a loud bang, she gets a reward.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be the thing. So sitting in a car with a package full of cut up hot dogs and hearing a pop, giving her a hot dog. Hearing a pop, giving her something like that. And then the other thing, the most recent thing that I think I'm going to do, which again, I love my wife, is spend more money. Because I recently found, and I don't know, I won't say the name of it now, but I did find a place near me that is a membership. That's about less than 30 minutes, but not by much, between 25, 30 minutes away, where they have acres and acres and acres of fenced in puppy fields to train puppies for quail, chucker, all the birds.
Oh, that means
you
you're getting another gun then?
What do I need another gun for?
A starter pistol?
Oh yeah, I do need another gun. Yeah. Maybe I can lump that into another rifle or shotgun.
Yeah.
I need a shotgun because if I wanted to invite a friend, I'd have to borrow one of yours. Or we'd have to swap back and forth. I can't keep borrowing your guns.
You can until you. But another gun's awesome too.
Exactly. So I found a place though that has fenced-in areas for puppies. They have pigeons for rent, and they have quail for sale.
Okay.
So pigeons for rent meaning you pay $4, you get a pigeon, you take it out in the field with you, put it in a trap, a bird launcher, and then you let the puppy find it based on scent. And when it finds it, you release it, and the pigeons will actually fly back to their roost, their nest, their pen, whatever.
Yeah, however they got a pigeon coop for them. So
exactly. And they're trained pigeons that go back to where they're supposed to go. So you just got to launch them up high enough to where the dog's not quick enough to get one.
There's that 6-foot rule. Get them up.
And then they also have quail. I think quail's like $8. But yeah, same thing. You can take a quail out, except for with quail, dogs can get them. Dogs can keep them. Whether you're shooting them or the dog just gets them and then the circle of life happens when the dog gets them. But yeah, you're able to do that. And again, I would take those home and eat them whenever that happens.
Absolutely.
But that's something that I'm going to be doing to, again, acclimate the dog to gunfire the right way. Go out there with a friend, with a starter pistol, release a bird, just like they were doing over at the Princess Quality Gun Dogs.
Just get her more time with the noise and the bird and the reward.
Exactly. It's more about the reward. I feel like once she has that bird around her, she's a completely different. Like watching her out there with those birds, she was tuned in. She was wired. She was loving it. So getting her into that environment again, and I'm so glad that I found this place because I looked online forever. Do you remember where I told you I figured out where?
No, I don't remember how you got to that.
I got there because I asked ChatGPT. I'm a tech guy.
Yeah.
My job is in technology and whatnot. And so ChatGPT told me, because I asked ChatGPT, hey, I want to train my dog with birds, but I live in the suburbs. Where do I go? What do I do? How can I get birds?
Now.
And because I Googled it, like quail near me or whatever. And there's been a handful of places we've been where they allow you to go there and do guided hunts. But none of them are like, come here to train your dog and do all this other stuff.
Oh, the few that I know of, though, are super expensive.
Yes.
Like country club-ish expensive.
Yes. Well, this is not country club-ish, but it is exactly what I need to help get reps with my dog. They got ponds there, so the natural ability stuff is going to be something that we can train for there. And then eventually, they have 2 puppy fields where starter pistol only. Mm-hmm. One of them's 10 acres, one of them's 15, where you go out, hide birds, and flush them and shoot the pistol and all that fun stuff. And then they have one field that is big with lots of ponds where you can actually shoot over your dog. So eventually, I can do all of the things I need to do there in one spot. And the membership cost is, again, not going to put numbers out there, but not expensive.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. Less than, I'm trying to think of a comparable thing. Not expensive.
Yeah.
Not even $1 a day. So less than $1 a day to get out there. So having the access to something like that is going to make me a better hunter and going to make my dog a better hunter. So
and give her something to do that she loves.
Yes. Run off leash specifically.
Well, yeah.
Because
to be free. It's going to be cool for her.
Yeah, she's going to be getting... I just feel like I'm doing right by her by taking her to a place like that. So the next steps for us are to get more reps out there. I'll keep everybody posted on that. I'll take some videos of that and how that's going. And then in addition to that, the finishing of a dog. So right now she's a started dog because he started working with her and taught her some things. The final steps, he said, would be to finish her. And for that, he needs her for about 2 months.
Wow.
My wife is going to be very upset when that day comes.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy with that at all.
Leaving a dog that we've bonded with for so long for 2 months. I'm not going to be happy with it.
How old does she need to be for that 2-month stay?
Yep. He said about 10 months.
Wow, that'll be here before...
So that'll be November, December. No, October, November. She was born January 27th.
Wow.
So that'll be October, November. She'll have to go back there for 2 months. But at that point, he said, I'm going to give you a dog that'll be woe broke, have all the commands down, be shot over, everything. So he's going to take the 2 months to really do it right. Wow. And that's what I want for her. I want her to have it done right. So I'm going to work with her the best I can and get her to a good spot. And then hopefully he'll get her to the
get her comfortable at least with the sound to where it's easier for him and she'll have the rewards faster then.
So it's not about me not doing anything. I'm not just saying, oh, I hired a trainer and I'm just going to sit around. It's me working with the ideas that have been planted by the trainer, the different things that she should be working on and getting better at, because I want her to do well at the NAVDA test, and I think
Yep.
I have to do all that stuff for her.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he taught her that is going to be applicable for that. I need to get her better in the water. This place is going to help me do that. So I'm really excited about that, because having her do what she was bred to do makes me excited for her.
Absolutely. Like, it'll make her life full where she's getting to do what she wants, and you still have to be a husband and a father to try to give all of that. Someplace it has to give. Like,
Yeah.
So at least she gets that opportunity. I think that's cool.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Everybody will be along for the ride. So uplandunderdog.com, Upland Underdog on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, we'll be on there. Follow along for any of the updates that we have for her being able to do what she needs to do.
Looking
Getting her
forward to it.
all trained up as best I can, because, again, I owe it to her and I owe it to my wife to make sure that this dog does exactly what we want her to do.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It'll be good. So follow along for the ride, folks. Appreciate it.